The National World War II Museum is honored to host you, graduates of the ASU World War II Studies Master's Program. Today's celebration is a public recognition of your incredible commitment and hard work.
This groundbreaking program, the first ever master's degree program on World War II studies, offers unique access to leading scholars of World War II history, as well as access to exhibits, artifacts, oral histories, and archival records.
Through the lens of World War II, researching why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today, you have been trained with the skills necessary to succeed in the workplace or in pursuing your own personal research.
Studying World War II is an act of remembrance of the greatest generation's sacrifices to preserve our freedom for the sake of our sons and daughters, so that they may know the price of freedom and be inspired by their stories.
Today, we celebrate you. Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Colonel Mike Bell, Executive Director of the Jenny Craig Institute for the Study of War and Democracy here at the National World War II Museum. And it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to our World War II Studies Celebration of Graduates held in partnership with Arizona State University. At this time, please rise as you're able and remain standing for our national anthem performed by the museum's very own Victory Bells.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Please be seated. So I'm privileged to be the Master of Ceremonies today for our celebration of you, our graduates. I'd like to welcome all of you here to Stage Door Canteen, as well as anybody watching from home. Now, as a tradition here at the National World War II Museum, I first would like to ask anyone who's a veteran or active duty of our nation's armed forces, would you please stand and wave to be recognized? There's a couple out there. Thank you for your service. Thanks to your families for their support for your service. It makes a tremendous difference. Now, the purpose of our celebration today is to remind everyone that our campus is their campus, and is to give you graduates a sense of community through attainment of this degree. Now, you think of the term college, if we get into little medieval language, Old French. The term college is a body or guild of people associated with each other who are bound by a common purpose. And the roots of that come from with or together with, and either to choose, to collect, or to gather. So here we are choosing to collect and gather with this group. And that is a special opportunity for us today, many of whom likely haven't spent much time in person with each other. They've gathered virtually in this degree, and here's an opportunity to come together as an ASU community and also in partnership with the museum. Now, a quick show of hands. Who had not been to the museum before this weekend? Not bad. Next week, when we ask you, hopefully no one will say they haven't been here, right? Now, I hope you had a great visit thus far. I hope it won't be your last visit, but until then, please stay connected with us, online and through our virtual programs out there. But today's the day we get to celebrate the graduates of this very unique master's degree in World War II studies. And it would be certainly remiss if we don't also celebrate those who supported the graduates throughout this process. I know when I graduated, the thought was, do I go to graduation or not? And a wise person told me, it's really not about you. Your wife and your children actually need to see that you've reached the culmination of this and you've attained this, and your peers need to see that as well. And so I would ask, family and friends of the graduates, if you would you please stand or wave and be recognized for being part of this graduates' achievement? And graduates, let's give them an incredible round of thanks. Now, the other part of the achievement, in addition to your achievement, is the faculty that along the way cajole, inspire, perspire, to try to make this all possible. And we have, some of our faculty members with us who've been with you throughout this path to success, albeit, in cases sometimes online. And as I mentioned yesterday, Dr. Rob Citino sends his regrets that he couldn't join you. I know he's a bit of a rock star, but we have other rock stars here on the stage assembled. And so I'll just, if you guys would wave as we go, Dr. Steph Hintershitz from the National World War II Museum, Sean Scanlon, Mark DeBow, Hannah Daly, John Curatola, Bradley Hart, Kim Geis, Jan Mann, and Haley Goupay in the back rank, although they're the first rank in our hearts. Jason Dawsey, Pete Crane, our vice president here at the museum, Dean Jeffrey Cohen, Corey Graff, I think some of you know him, a fellow conspirator, and Dr. Kathy O'Malley. Let's give them a round of applause as well. Now, this has been a pretty amazing program, and folks behind the scenes that have worked over the years to kind of keep this going, particularly because it was really a one-of-a-kind program when it was started. Whoever thought of a partnership with a museum to offer an online interdisciplinary asynchronous master's degree. And so, my thanks go out to all those folks, both from the museum and from Arizona State University, that over years, one, had confidence in this program, but also have continued to sustain, nurture, support this program over time. And so we have two of them with us today, Pete Crane and Jeffrey Cohen, but I do want to say thanks, for what they've done to enable this to continue, because it is one of those programs out there that is so unique. Sometimes people wonder, is this something you do? And, how many museums are out there in higher education? So let's, on behalf of those two institutions, how about if you join me in a round of applause for what they've done to support this? So with that, I'm going to ask Colonel Pete Crane to come up. He's our museum's vice president. His portfolio is education and access, which is really what this program's all about. And without further ado, join me in welcoming Colonel Pete Crane.
Well, thank you, Dr. Bell, and good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of our president and CEO, Stephen Watson, welcome to the National World War II Museum, and congratulations to all of our graduates. It's really exciting for me to be able to see you here in person. So often, because of the distributed nature of the program, it's faces, names, at a distance and really thinking conceptually about you. And here you are in the flesh. You know, earlier this afternoon, I was speaking with Dr. Cohen about how important the partnership between the National World War II Museum and ASU is to us. This museum is a monument to the power of academia and the power of an idea. The museum itself was born from the creative idea of two friends, both history professors, Dr. Stephen Ambrose and Dr. Nick Mueller, about how to create a place for the preservation and study of the stories of World War II veterans and to keep the ideas and ideals that those men and women fought for alive. It would be a place for folks to come and research those ideas. The original idea was modest. It was a small research facility. It was going to house roughly 600 oral histories and a small number of artifacts at the University of New Orleans, so that all researchers could come study the story of D-Day. I know many of you heard Dr. Mueller describe that idea and the subsequent journey that it took for the museum to be birthed and to grow and flourish over the last 25 years. But all along that whole journey, academia, higher and lifelong learning has been at the heart of what we've done at the museum and what this museum is about. Hurricane Katrina was a catalyst for our distance education programs. What do you do with a museum when there are no tourists to come to a museum? You have to take that education to them. And so since 2005, this museum has actively pursued a museum without walls and a museum that would reach across the country. Both the Jenny Craig Institute for the Study of War and Democracy and the National World War II Museum's Media Center were created as a means to build a community of scholars and to expand the knowledge and understanding of World War II. You graduates are part of that. I had the honor of being one of the people on the museum's part to negotiate the agreement creating this partnership, and I can honestly say that from the beginning, it has exceeded all expectations. I'm excited to see how it's going to grow and expand in the coming years. Ideas about how to bring students here and how to add an overseas component are exciting to us. As Dr. Bell said, most places, most museums say, that's not what a museum does. You know, who else has a master's degree in their field of study? But that's the kind of thing that gets us excited here at the National World War II Museum. Yesterday, the museum announced a new campaign based upon our 10-year strategic plan, with ambitious goals centered almost entirely upon our educational mission. It's our intention over the next decade to become the most accessible resource for trusted knowledge on the American experience in World War II in the world. At the heart of this vision is the desire for impact to educate our fellow Americans and the rest of the world. Because any museum worth its name is at heart an educational institution. Our efforts over the next 10 years in the higher learning arena are to continue to build a community of scholars, to work with partners. This is a wonderful example of that partnership and that intent. to help university faculties in the history field, to help them grow and help expand the field itself. You graduates are a part of that. Please stay connected. You are now disciples of the story of the American experience in World War II. You have to go out and tell that story. You are foundational to our success as we continue on our mission. And as we celebrate our 25th anniversary this week, it gives me great confidence in our partnership with ASU and the National World War II Museum. It's the continued importance of the interest in World War II and our role in all of that. It will only lead to greater things in the future. So in closing, I'd like to thank all of our team from Education and Access here on the stage who have been central to the success of that program. It's a little intimidating for a simple master's degree holder to be on a stage with these people. I always kind of think they're evaluating my homework here. But it's an honor to be included with them and to be on a team with them. Of course, I'd also like to thank our partner faculty and staff, Jan, Jason, Mark, Kathy, Peter, Richard Amesbury, and of course, Dean Jeffrey Cohen, who will follow me. But before I cede the podium to Dean Cohen, let me say to you all, once more, congratulations on your great accomplishment. I don't need to tell any of you this, but the learning doesn't stop with this degree. It should never stop. We want to be a resource for you all as you continue on your journey of knowledge. As Dr. Mueller said, the purpose of education is to free people. Your studies have helped free you, and that pursuit of freedom through ideas will help this partnership grow. Thank you. It's my pleasure now to introduce Dr. Jeffrey Cohen, the Dean of Humanities at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at Arizona State University. Welcome, Dr. Cohen.
Congratulations. I want to say a very quick word. First of all, I'm Jeffrey Cohen. I'm the Dean of Humanities, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at Arizona State University. And I oversee 65 different programs in that capacity. And I have to admit, this one's my favorite. Don't tell the graduates of the other programs. That would cause me no... But one of the reasons why I really love this one is that ASU aspires to be a university that's based on public outreach. It's the only university that was voted into existence by the people of a state. It was not created by a legislature. It was actually voted by the people to come into being. It's founded on a principle of access. What we try to do, and I love how you describe this as a museum without walls. It's open to anyone to learn. ASU will never cede excellence as being owned to someone who shuts a gate on people and judges itself by, for example, how many students it excludes every year. It's exactly the wrong way for education to go. We are so happy to work with you as part of our Access mission where excellence belongs to everyone. So first of all, I want to thank our friends at the National World War II Museum for their collaboration and support. This is an institution that takes its commitment to education so seriously that they have worked with us to build a rigorous master's program that ensures the deepest engagement with their own mission. No other museum I know possesses this level of vision and dedication. It's truly a unique place. Second, I want to thank the superb faculty who make this interdisciplinary master's program the life-changing educational opportunity that it is. They built this, and with as much heart as scholarship. It's an absolutely unique MA, and I have to say it's an honor that I get to work with this faculty every day. Third, to today's graduates, I salute your dedication, your brilliance, and your achievement. I've had the chance to get to know many of you over the past few days and can say that although I've had the honor of teaching at many institutions across the world, I've never been so impressed by students before. Welcome to the community of scholars. And last, one more time, I want to say to the family and friends here today, these graduates couldn't have done it without you. You were their emotional support, their tech support, whether you want to do it or not sometimes. Sometimes they're proofreaders, often their practice audience for their brilliant ideas, and you enable today to happen. I'm going to just leave you with a thought that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I think that this program resonates with. It's simply that an understanding of history in all of its complexity is essential to a thriving democracy. I'm going to say that again. An understanding of history in all of its complexity is essential to a thriving democracy. We live in a moment when fictions masquerade as facts, when facts find themselves dismissed as fictions, and phones absorb so much attention that curiosity about the lived world seems to be in peril. You gathered here today are the cure for that syndrome. Your pursuit of interdisciplinary inquiry into the complexities of the past, guided by your excellent faculty mentors and through the affordances of this spectacular museum, ensures that history's lessons will not be forgotten, no matter how hard some may try to make it seem as if they don't matter anymore. Hopefully, through this MA program, you've found yourself supported and feel like you've accomplished more than you ever thought you could as you look at the end of it. You've nurtured a relentless curiosity that has driven you to achievements that you should take a great deal of pride in. English is the only language that uses for a graduation ceremony the word commencement. A commencement's a beginning. Now, I love graduation ceremonies for what they celebrate, most certainly, but for what they begin. The rest of your life is opening up beyond this, and you have a charge that comes with this degree, a responsibility to share the knowledge that you've gained and to make sure it reaches as many audiences as possible. We'll say it one more time. An understanding of history and all of its complexity is essential to a thriving democracy. I'm so proud of you for everything that you've done to ensure that it thrives. Thank you for your work.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jason Dawsey, Assistant Teaching Professor of History at Arizona State University, and very proud to be back here at the National World War II Museum, where I worked as a historian for 6 years. And I'm delighted and honored to be able to spend some time with you at this celebration. Time is indeed the theme of my remarks. A time you will soon experience and what you will make of it. Time has long been an interest of mine. Moise Postone, my advisor at the University of Chicago, wrote a major study dealing with how under our prevailing socioeconomic system, our lives are conditioned by a certain kind of abstract clock time, which Postone termed a tyranny of time. Although his analysis was pitched at a very high level of abstraction, we must not forget in a much more concrete way that something like the 40-hour work week was won in countries like the United States and France just before World War II. In our time, we see battles joined anew over the length of the working day and the work week. But what I wish to focus on here with you is a very different case of time. A time, as I said, to come soon enough. Many of you will live to experience a time when we have no direct participants in World War II left. No combat veterans, no home front workers, no Holocaust survivors, no resistance fighters. It will be the beginning of an era of history completely without them. And we must be prepared for that time when there is not a single one of them who can shake us with their stories, warn us, and urge us forwards. Yet, you might say, all things are transitory. All things must come to pass. Hasn't that been true of every other event in human history? Why is the Second World War any different? And my answer to that extremely valid question is, during a shockingly brief period of time, just 8 years, 60 million human beings perished due to fascism, militarism, racism, and extreme nationalism. And all of these scourges of human society continue to plague us, despite the staggering sacrifices of veterans, homefront workers, Holocaust survivors, and resistance fighters. They still threaten. Moreover, the principles of freedom, equality, solidarity, and justice, for which so many of these 4 groups I just mentioned fought, are yet to be fully realized. The potential for a truly human future is shadowed by a dark and bloody past that is yet to release its hold on us. During my time here at the museum, I was amazed by how short a duration of time World War II really was when you start looking at it concretely in the larger expanse of history, and how it could stamp an individual's or a group's or a nation's existence. I think of how brief and yet how searing were the establishments of the beachheads in Normandy 81 years ago yesterday, or the time experienced by inmates in the Nazi camp system desperately holding on to life before they were liberated by the Allies 80 years ago this spring. I think, too, of Adolfo Kaminsky, who forged documents for a clandestine resistance network in Paris during World War II. He learned that 300 children facing possible deportation by the Nazis each needed 3 documents apiece immediately. Thus, 900 documents had to be created. The math was simple, Kaminsky recalled. In 1 hour, I make 30 documents. If I slept for 1 hour, 30 people would die. Kaminsky persevered. The papers were forged and the children avoided deportation. So what will you do, being aware that these 4 groups, their numbers are dwindling, with the time you have as we move into this era bereft of eyewitnesses to the most catastrophic conflict ever? Racing the clock to record and preserve their stories assumes the greatest urgency, but so does the resolve to resume the fight for a better world they waged. In doing so, time will be a ruthless foe. So much depends on you, that you confront a world minus the World War II generation, and that you strive for a world that does not betray the best hopes and aspirations we have inherited from those pivotal years of death and struggle. Now, with that, I am out of time. I am grateful to have been able to spend a bit, though, of your special day with you. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
So it's a momentous day. As Dr. Bell was saying, I exist in a strange confluence between 2 worlds. I work here at the National World War II Museum and enrolled in ASU's World War II Studies program. Some of my professors are also my coworkers and my friends. You'd think that would make for some awkward water cooler conversations. But just like many of you, I discovered that during our tenure in this program, successes come from putting your head down, doing your best, and pushing through challenges, any challenges that arise. And I'm so excited to be here at the culmination of this part of our journey. Halfway through my studies, I was talking to my aunt. You probably all have an aunt or uncle like this who's a little different. And this is mine. So we were catching up, and I mentioned that I was taking master's classes in World War II studies. And she blurted, because she has no filter, why? Why are you doing that? And afterwards, I was thinking about her comment, which stung a little bit. And I realized that I should be flattered. What she was sort of naively asking was, don't you know it all already? And friends, I'm here to tell you, I most decidedly do not know it all. And that is the point. No one knows it all. Though you may have people in your life, brother-in-law, friend, who's told you, well, you know, I watched the Discovery Channel and I read Flags of Our Fathers, so you should probably just hand over a diploma to me because I know everything about World War II. I'm reminded of a George Patton quote. Love him or hate him, George S. Patton is a quote machine, which is something you should know if you're writing papers. He says, many soldiers are led to faulty ideas of war by knowing too much about too little. And he's warning against the dangers of narrow knowledge base, encouraging a broader, more holistic understanding of the complexities of conflict. And that's what this program did for me, and it's what he did for you too. In addition, I've got to ask, where was this acquaintance when you were reading textbooks at midnight? Or logging in for a few more hours of homework while everybody else's day was winding down? Or trying to jailbreak Canvas moments before something was due? To paraphrase another Patton quote, you have put in your pint of sweat, and today we celebrate your hard work. As I stand here, I realize I'm the last thing between you and the culmination of years of diligence and discovery. Let me be one of the first to offer you a hearty congratulations and say, you finally did it.
Thank you, Pete. Jeffrey, Jason, Corey, you know, I appreciate those remarks, and you know, for the graduates, remember it's going to be on YouTube. You can listen to them again if you didn't hear what they said. So, some great remarks. Corey, I'm going to quote you as you quote Patton. So, now you know at this time it's a moment we've been waiting for, and I would ask Pete Crane, Jeffrey Cohen, if you'd please take center stage. And Jeremy, if you'd do the honors.
Greg Simons. Thomas M. Ferris III. Caitlin Duff. Catherine Hansen. Allison Laughlin. Jeannie Rabel. Melissa Criswell. Andreas Garza. Christopher Causey. Matthew Martirano. Abigail Mucaro. Susan Schinleiber. Jim Hall. Charles Youngblood. Brad Cedillo. Lee Ann Harris. Steve Bernhardt. Dean Knight. Robert Glazebrook. Natalie Brennan. Joanne Russell. Candace Bryson. Raymond Valadez. Michael Mishu, Jr. Kevin Cald. Gary Sirkvenik. Stephen Friedman. Alan Rosso. Andrew Michak. George Skonberg. Corey Graff. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating classes of 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Round of applause.
Well, this nearly concludes our 2025 World War II Studies Celebration of Graduates ceremony. For all the graduates and friends watching at home, thank you for tuning in. For those in person, thank you for staying awake. Now, it's been great to host you this weekend. We hope this weekend has been a fitting capstone to your master's degree journey, but also a waypoint for what you're going to achieve for the future. And on that waypoint, we hope that you'll stay connected, that your journey of learning about World War II, staying engaged with Arizona State, the National World War II Museum does not end here, and that you'll take inspiration from the words you heard today and take those forward. Please continue to use our resources. Our goal is to expand those resources and expand what's available to you and to the community of scholars. And we look forward to serving you and others in those interests. But before we close completely, there's a special presentation I think Greg has. And Taylor, would we ask that you come to the front here? Yes, you. That's you're right. Your name's Taylor.
Thank you.
Come on. Just up front.
Here she is. Taylor, on behalf of all the graduates here, we have such deep respect for the work that you've put in to put this wonderful event together. And we have a wonderful gift for you. We got some nice flowers for you. And on behalf of all of us here, we truly appreciate all the hard work that you put in. You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Now that concludes our ceremony for today, and let's give our graduates one other round of applause. Now, if you could pause for a moment, I know we've got some instructions as we move around. We want to capture a photo of our graduates, but I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy, and thank you for being here. Thanks for honoring us, and congratulations.